if you aren't able to provide in that way, and even if it is for a short period of time, a man will have to understand that he's lost some of that masculine energy for that time period. And it's because he wasn't able to amplify or really live within his role.
What's going on, family? It's your guy, Kai Speaks. You here for another episode of Cash Culture. We got the guys in the stew with it, and we're going to have a conversation about masculinity today because we get a lot of conversations. We have a lot of women, a lot of men on the show where we asking questions on these are the roles and responsibilities of a man. And my question for y'all is, when it comes to masculinity, does a man's masculinity center around his ability to provide for a woman financially? Like, is that alone enough to consider yourself masculine, or are there other things?
I think it's 50%. I think your ability to provide does provide a level of masculinity because it provides security. You know, security is the biggest thing that goes into masculinity. But I also think it's your rules that you set from the beginning. Like, if I set some rules, some things I'm not comfortable with, some things I want you to do, and it's like you going against the grain on what we kind of set in the beginning, then I think, yeah, the providing aspect keeps you masculine, but it's still some beta in that because you're falling off the rules you set. Because now it's like, yeah, I'm going to provide for you financially, make sure you're secure, but now we're not being obedient to each other. If that makes sense. And I don't want to say obedient in a bad way, but it's like, it's a
So what do
level
you
of
mean by
respect between-
obedient?
It's a level of respect. Like, you know, the respect aspect of it. If we both set these guidelines, like, you don't want me to do this, I don't want you to do that. But if you're doing what you want to do and I'm still following your guidelines, it's like, damn, are you only listening to me from time to time because of me? I'm providing?
So what does it look like for a woman that you provide financially doing what she want to do? What does that look like?
I'm taking care of the bills, you wild or not. Pretty much what it is. It's like, yeah, this nigga gonna take care of the house, but I'm gonna go do what I want to do. I ain't
So then that
necessarily
make you
gonna
a
cook.
simp.
I ain't gonna clean. I can't say that make you a simp. Not
It
necessarily.
is. If you provide for a woman financially and she disrespecting you by like not being obedient to the rules that was established beforehand or the agreement, that's being a simp.
I look at it from both ways because the reason I can't say it's a simp because niggas also use them providing to try to control their woman. Like, I try to shut off shit that she can't do because I'm providing. Necessarily, it's like me cutting off her life.
Yeah, no. So, but I'm saying you don't have to do that. But I'm saying if you're not doing that, or like if she's taking advantage of the fact that you paying her bills and delivering disrespect on your end, whether you like, you don't have to be trying to control her. You just be like, hey, just, you know, if I'm doing this, I need you to take care. If I'm taking care of you, I want you to take care of me, whatever that look like, right? You're not trying to control her life and say she can't go out with her friends, she can't do this. But if she not reciprocating the bare minimum of what you need, then that makes you a simp.
Man, I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. If I'm paying them bills, dog, and I set my rules and you ain't going by, I'm gonna be honest, bro. That shit gonna stop quickly. Like, we ain't even finna play them games. At the end of the day, if I'm providing, I'm taking care of the household, the whole 9 yards, it's just like Dre said, if that's that 50% that I'm coming in and saying that I'm gonna take care of, and then I set my rules on what's gonna go on in this household, like alpha male, like, those are some things that I'm just not gonna be in for. So if you do those things, it's just like, okay, nah, hold on.
That makes sense. So I do want to ask a question to kind of piggyback on that. Like, the rules that we set, are they set to make us comfortable or they set to make both of us comfortable? Because sometimes they can get blurred.
And that's where I go into like the masculinity part. Because like if you really walking in that divine masculinity, not that toxic masculinity, you gonna have rules that make y'all both feel comfortable. Like it's not a level. The toxic masculinity is, oh, I'm paying your bills, you gotta stay at home and I control your every move, and even you can't even talk to your friends, you can't talk to your family, you gotta be sure. That's the toxic way. But the divine masculinity is like, yes, I'm providing for you. Let's come up with an agreement to where it's I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Exactly.
I'm not
like
taking no
Exactly.
disrespect either. Like, and then
Because
on the
at the
flip
end
side,
of the day, that's still your partner, bro. Like,
Yeah.
For sure,
you don't want to make it just like about some money shit. Because at the end of the day, you will never have a woman by your side if it's all about money. So it's still piggybacks off what he was saying. Like, it gotta be an agreement.
and then with it not being about money, I guess the next part of that question, the part two I'm really curious about is if you're not providing like financially for a stint as a man, right? And I said for a stint because I'm not saying that this is a long-term thing, right? Let's say it's a period of time, you with your girl and you not providing for her financially. Does that make you less of a man, a masculine man?
Most women, if you are not providing, most women, they're gonna give you some type of disrespect. So it's your job as a man to make sure you provide 24/7. Because those little stints, unless she really love you and she trusts every move that you doing, the disrespect is going to come on the back end if you don't. And especially, say your stint 6 months sometimes, 6 months, and shit getting rough, and she feeling like, she not living her best life, that shit is going to happen. That disrespect is going to start coming. But with certain women, if that's your woman by if she stand beside you and she want to help you build to get you back to where you once were.
Damn.
Yeah. So me personally, I want to say head of household is a definitive role. And with that being said, like everybody wants to say money isn't everything, and I agree with that. But I can't say when it comes down to the financial strain of being head of household, when we want to claim that, I can't say it's 50-50. I think when you take on that responsibility, there has to be adjustments because you also take on the weight of the world when you take on the weight of your family and all the complications. And in finances is one of the vast majorities. It's not necessarily going to be 50-50. It might be like 60-70, but you know what I'm saying? But it still comes with a certain level of respect. The reason I look at it is because even for, and unfortunately for a man that can't financially provide, I got to look at it to what the world was like when it wasn't no money involved. You know what I'm saying? At that point, men had to hunt and women had to, do like the essentials as far as like
Nurturing.
just nurturing. Men had to hunt. So my thing is, if during that time the natural resource was food, if a man couldn't provide as far as hunting, he wasn't deemed as a man. So now the definitive role for head of household, it is financial stability. You know what I'm saying? Stability doesn't exist without finances. It just can't. So honestly, I feel like I hate to say it like that, but it's real. It's we got to be honest. If you aren't able to provide in that way, and even if it is for a short period of time, a man will have to understand that he's lost some of that masculine energy for that time period. And it's because he wasn't able to amplify or really live within his role.
I can't agree with that.
I disagree. I disagree. I feel like that he shouldn't one feel that he's lost a bit of his masculinity, because then that's how you turn a bad situation worse, because then you start to lose who you are. You start to fall in these droughts, which makes it really hard to even pick back up that momentum. I still feel like a man who's truly walking in his masculine energy can be able to identify that and know that it's a problem that needs to be solved as soon as possible. But still, even when in that dark situation, he's able to lead his woman. He's able to clearly say, hey, this is what's going on. These are the adjustments that I'm making, but these are also the adjustments we need to make together and what we need to do moving forward. This is the plan. You either with the plan or you're not with the plan. Because at the end of the day, as a man, you're supposed to be able to stand on what your program is, your plan is, and you take consideration from, your partner as well. But at the end of the day, if your partner is not with the plan that you truly feel like is the plan, you got to keep it pushing.
I think even to piggyback off that, because I think we looking at it from an abundance mindset of someone just has a flurry of money versus someone being able to still come in and take care of the responsibilities that he has for the household. You see what I'm saying? Whether that's just putting food on the table, paying the rent, X, Y, and Z. Like, that's what you got to take into account, too. As long as they doing that and they taking care of the basic, it might not be going on vacation every fucking 2 months or, you out buying clothes every day. It might not be that. It might just be you working your regular job and you taking care of what you can take care of.
I do understand that, but I think from my mindset, and this is what I think about. So when I think about, masculinity, when it comes down to, and again, I'm associating that with head of household for an obvious reason. For me, it's like,
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you able to separate masculinity from head of the household?
I can't.
Like, I'm talking about energy wise. Because like, let's say that you don't have a girlfriend or a partner at all. Let's say you in a situation where you got roommates, where you living with two other dudes, and these dudes is your brothers. Like, it's not like they random dudes, but it's like, there's no head of household there. It's literally three guys who are just pulling an equal share.
Right.
Where is your masculine energy then? Like,
because
I think
that's different because, if I understand, like the initial question of, the application of masculinity involvement with a woman, stand together, I think of it in that form and in that direction only. But like, I don't think masculine energy is determined by that. But if we're asking if in that specific situation, if it's determined, I do think those situations are entirely different. And I do think masculine energy has to reflect that. I do think different rules are set.
I feel like masculine energy is not one that is like the true energy, right? I don't think that that's something that applies in this case, but it doesn't apply the same in this case. Like, if it's true, if it's divine, it's like you are who you are, right? You shouldn't be you shouldn't be switching up who you are when you are around this person versus this person, if that's truly who you are, right? If you start switching it up and like, oh, this is how I want to be around this person, oh, but this is how I got to be around this person, you probably doing yourself a disservice because now you're not living in who you truly are.
I get that. And I actually respect it. But what makes a man masculine? Is it other men that make? Is it another man that makes you masculine?
No, I think what we're doing is we kind of tie masculinity to money. It's not necessarily
exactly
money,
and that's what,
because the most masculine motherfuckers usually don't have money. They usually more so destined in their job. They're usually people 9-to-5 workers who are structured.
And you got the
structure
motherfuckers
makes you masculine. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And being head of household, you have to look at it from the other side. What if you did make the most money? What if she made more money than you?
Is she still
Would she be the masculine head of household at that point?
Hell no.
So it's not
you still gotta be able to lead.
money.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
more so direction, more so organization.
Structure. I like that word.
It's like more so you setting everybody up to be in position. Like, look at the president. He ain't the richest man in the United States, but he's the most masculine motherfucker out here. Like, he makes the decision for the rest of us.
I don't know that about Joe, but
He
got
makes the
pretty.
decision for all of us. He ain't the richest motherfucker, but he got the most control of what happens in our daily life. You know what I'm saying?
That's some real shit.
that is real. It's like I think masculinity more so revolves around structure, discipline, and again going back to that word I use, program. Like, what's the program? Like, what's the motion? What's the moves that need to be had? Because it is one thing for a woman to have most of the money, and I don't think that women have a problem with making more money. That's why they don't have problems making more money than they man. What they have a problem is making more money and then also having to deal with the stresses of like, what we doing next? This nigga can't even make decisions.
Like, I make the most money and make the decision.
I gotta come home and I still gotta figure out what's going on with the household. Like, what are we doing, right? That's more so where a lot of their stress comes from, is like, I'm making money and I got to figure out what we doing. But if I could at least put in a position where, okay, for 6 months or whatever, I'm making the money, but when I come home, it's like, you come in with a plan, and it's like, you could take that and run with it and create some type of structure for the house. Then
it's execution.
That's execution, right? I think women will have a totally different mindset to that.
See, and then forgive me because my complete thought isn't, one, I don't think finances is masculinity. I do think it's a factor of it. But I'm going to tell you why. See, when it comes down to the association of, women, and I believe, feminism increases or is a product of, adding to masculinity. I don't think another man can make a man get more to his masculine bag, but
I think feminism is what makes women masculine, though.
No. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying feminine energy. I'm saying
femininity. That's different than feminism.
Forgive me, I used the wrong word.
I say.
But like, I'm just saying, women in general help propel a man to be more of a man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm basically saying. So when I look at it with women, if a man, why I put certain terms like head of household, I'm not saying a man has to make the most amount of money. So what I'm saying is, when it comes down to the structures and when it comes down to establishing, the rules and regulations, there has to be a certain point where that man doesn't go under. I'm not talking about the woman making more money than the man. I'm saying we asked, the initial question was, finances and stability imperative to masculinity. And at that point, I do believe it is paramount when you have like a certain standard of stability and certain things that must be accustomed, like the bare minimum and the essentials, just like we expect certain roles to be committed. I definitely think that's true masculinity. I don't think it's like I'm making more than you. I think what's been said from the very beginning and the standard that was set for that livelihood. And I'm not talking about like vacations. I'm talking about like all the basic things, rent.
So do you think it's okay for a man to be dating a woman seriously if he is already in a position where he can't take on 100% of his bills and her bills?
Fuck no.
So any guy dating, he shouldn't even be focused on dating.
I don't. I think he should be focused on him.
Because I mean, you got a lot of times, bro. Like 9 times out of 10 nowadays, bro, these guys is not paying 100% of the rent. G.
Exactly.
They going 50-50. Goddamn, I got my half, you got your half, and I'm gonna be honest, them still some masculine motherfuckers. They ain't going for shit.
I'm gonna be honest. That's why I say like the most masculine man out here is the man that's working a 9 to 5. He not making the most money, so everything has to be structured. Like he the most detailed motherfucker out. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that.
Facts.
Pay this. Like, it's the nigga that's very
and can
down
still keep
to
a
the
woman,
T
right?
And still keep a woman. Because the niggas with a lot of money, I ain't gonna say they not masculine, but they got more room for error. So it's like they ain't got to be as organized. They ain't got to be as concise. Like I can miss this, but I just take care of it on the back end. A nigga who really on that shit, he can't afford to miss shit. He on that, like he on that.
His life is damn near over if he fuck up.
But you should be able to date though. Like I can't say you can't date based on the fact that I can't provide for you and me. I think at the situation like Zay said, most of these niggas not paying their woman's bills. They'll get on there and cap like they is, but
yeah, they not.
They all 50-50. Think about it. Like you paying the rent, she paying the lights. Like that's cool.
And think about it, you would really miss out, like to guys out there that they don't have their finances all figured out and everything like that. You could really miss out giving advice like that on a really good woman that really know how to hold shit down, like really know how to like put her time and effort into your plan. Say, okay, while you figuring this out, I'm gonna go execute in this area, and we gonna run it up together. And it might be a time where I'm paying 50% of the rent, or it might be a time where I might be paying 60% of the rent. But I know you got a mission, and I know you standing on that mission, and we gonna make it happen together. Like Denzel Washington ain't always been Denzel Washington, but I do believe that he is the man he is because he had a woman who didn't like just leave him because he couldn't pay all her bills. Same thing with LeBron. LeBron was not always LeBron. He might have always been a nasty ass basketball player. He might have always been tough, but he ain't always been LeBron. He wasn't always making that bread he was making, but he been with his wife a long ass time. And so when you don't have that woman to be able to hold you down, because you even said it, like the woman balance you out, balance out the masculine. So if you don't put yourself in a vulnerable position to be able to at least allow that woman to build you up and continue to cultivate your masculine energy, then you're going to be out here really missing out on a lot of good opportunities. I'm
going to be honest. I really think like women, every successful man got a good woman behind him. And she really is the one that really builds him up to where he at. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say that dating shit, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really never had not one woman that wasn't a good woman that actually helped towards my success today.
So even now, would you guys, if while you dating, right? With the knowledge that you have now, would you date somebody that you can only do 50-50 with?
What you mean that
you like so like where everything was split, you had that mindset where, I could do half everything and, you do half everything. Would you do that?
I think, to be honest, the world is going to come to that because you starting to see a lot of women starting to make just as much money as us. Mm-hmm. So with making money, just to be honest, that shit come on a level of masculinity. Women that usually really get money, they have a lot of masculine energy. So it's like, of course she ain't going to be like, hey, nigga, I don't need your money, so you think you going to control this shit. Let's go 50-50. Let's both have a say-so. I think you're going to start to see that more often. And I think, like, as a man, as long as you keep control of the direction of where everything going, I can do that. Like, I can be with a woman who
I think
has that mindset.
I agree with what you're saying, Jay, but I also feel like specifically, like I don't think money comes with the masculine energy for women. I think it's how they earn that money that
That's what it
determines
is.
Agreed.
Like,
the masculine energy. Because a woman
Especially you
making
got
a
your
lot
own
of money
business.
in like sales versus a woman making a lot of money as a nurse. They could be making the same amount of money.
Okay, yeah,
but
it's more so
she's
based
way
on-
more
I like that.
nurturing
Based on
than
the
the
career.
woman in the sales. She's gonna be
sure.
like sales. You got to be hard, and you got to like that's already an industry where it's ran by men. So like you're going to be more masculine if it takes you excelling in that space. But to excel as like a nurse, even like these travel nurses who making like 25, 50 bands a month, right? That's a lot of money for somebody to make. I don't think that necessarily comes with
I agree
masculine
with
energy.
you. It's more so on the career. Like,
Yeah.
if your woman is the head of her company, she tell everybody what to do.
Yeah, she the
And
CEO.
you
She
think
masculine.
she finna come home and listen to you tell her what to do? It's gonna be a conflict of interest right there off top. It's just not gonna happen because she's probably. I ain't gonna say she's making more money than you, but if she is, it's definitely not gonna happen.
The truth of the matter is, most masculine men don't find themselves with those women anyway, though.
Hell no. You
Most
know?
like a masculine man just typically not gonna find himself with a woman that is the
Just
CEO
masculine.
of a Fortune
Nah,
500
yeah.
company. Because like what you said, like she's going to have a lot of masculine tendencies
that you don't want.
And we got a homegirl we used to work with who even said, like, even in the business we was in with the real estate, like she even found herself sometimes like being a little bit masculine, and her man having to say, like, you know what, you gotta leave that shit at work. You gotta leave that shit at work. So it ain't too many masculine men that will find themselves with a woman like that. And a lot of women that's gonna listen to this off rip, they probably gonna feel offended, but it just is what it is. Like, a masculine man does not want a masculine woman. A masculine man wants a feminine woman because you need that balance.
Yeah. I can also say this too, in defense to certain mindsets. I feel like a lot of men who fuck that. To the niggas that do too much, I feel like sometimes they misappropriate or they misassociate a confident woman making money with a masculine woman. Because I think those are two completely different individuals.
No, so yeah, I think those are they not masculine. They insecure about, and insecurity. That's just it's just I don't want to say it's masculine or feminine. It's just not a. It's just not a place of security.
Yeah.
Right. So that's different. That's different.
But y'all gotta also think of, like, when males really don't give a fuck. Let me rephrase it. A dude who's getting money really don't care how much his girl is making.
Exactly.
No, not at all.
Like,
at all.
I don't care how much you making. I'm making my money. Whatever you doing is what you doing.
Even a dude who's secure and not getting, like, he getting money where he can
Right.
live comfortably, but he not making M's. He probably even barely making 100,000 a year. But if he confident on who he is, like he stand on, like, this, I could survive off the bare minimum, right? He not even worried about how much money a woman making.
Yeah.
Like, he just want to make sure that woman there for him.
See, I think it's really the broke niggas who are bothered about women getting some money.
No, I don't think it's broke niggas. I think it's broke niggas who are insecure about their financial situation,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I guess that's what broke is, right? Because broke is a mindset. It's like you clearly have an insecurity if you're saying you broke. Because it's folks out there that's making 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 a year. But they lifestyle, they would
living
never
their
find
best
themselves.
life.
Yeah, they would never find themselves living in Atlanta anyway. They would rather find themselves living in somewhere like Iowa, like with a cabin, just kind of sitting off to the side, got their own
Right.
shit going on, and they just need a woman to goddamn be there with them, right? They don't care if she's making more money than them or not. But a nigga who say, "Oh yeah, I'm broke right now," because again, that's a mindset. He going to most likely have a problem with a woman making more money than him because deep down in his inside, he's insecure about the money he's making for himself.
Now, I agree with you on that,
I agree with that.
but I'm gonna give it to you a different way. It's like, shit, to be honest, like when I didn't make the most money, like if I was making, let's just say 40, 50,000 a year, I definitely want to find a woman who probably making 40, 50 as well. Like at that point, how much money you make do matter. Like, don't tell me I'm finna go goddamn get a motherfucker who make 18,000. I make 40, and the household 58,000.
But again, that go back to you wasn't settling for no 40, 50,000. You was trying to make more.
You gonna get better. Now,
I was gonna say, cause me,
as I got more money, it changed.
Nah, see,
but when
me,
I was broke,
if I was getting about
you better
40,
have some fucking money.
if I was getting about 40, 50,000, I get me a woman make about 150, 200.
I'm with that.
I'm with that.
I'm taking that. But as I start making that, it's like
Yeah.
I take a woman who make 40,000-50,000. So it kind of changed based on where you.
No, hold on now. Just because I got some money, I don't want no bottom of the barrel. Like,
I don't want bottom of the barrel, but I'm not more so worried about your finance. I'm more so worried about your nurturing.
Yeah.
Like it changes. If you a nurturing motherfucker, and
I'm worried about your energy.
You work at Walmart.
I'm worried about your mindset.
You
Fuck all that nurturing shit. What's your mindset? Can I help you get to where you want to be?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think that's more with me. Like,
But that's nurturing. Like a woman who like
Yeah.
asks you questions like, what are you trying? Like, what's the goal here? Like, where are you trying to? How can I help you out? That's That's nurturing.
Yeah.
no, that's nurturing. Mindset is totally different from fucking nurturing. I really believe that.
I think nurturing is
Because
a mindset.
nurturing, you can no. It could be in a sense, but that shit totally different. Somebody could be nurturing with you all day, you know, doing every care for you. They literally anything you want, they gonna do. But they just ain't got that mindset to, you know, take you to the next level or help you get to the
So
next
do
level.
you want like a combination of a mindset and a nurturer?
Yes.
Or are you okay
100%.
with just
And
mindset?
Get specific because it sounds like it's not really mindset. It sound like you saying entrepreneur.
Say what an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
woman. That would
entrepreneur.
sound like.
Oh, I want
woman.
entrepreneur.
Yeah,
it's not even,
facts.
it's not even
Get
just
a
the
bag,
mindset because
baby.
like you gotta get specific on the mindset you
No,
talking about.
like I don't even got to have no entrepreneurs here. No, say like
Entrepreneurial.
but no, I'm not gonna say that. It's just like
You want sophistication?
I don't want nobody who just completely they don't have no direction in life. If you get what I'm
But
saying.
that's not true nurturing. Again, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like
Your
talking about
nurturing might be
femininity.
different from my nurturing.
I get what he's saying.
I get
What he's saying is I get what you're saying now. So he wants someone that can nurture, but when you want someone that nurtures, you want them to nurture to your needs, to your specific needs. So
Yeah.
like for instance, like me personally, I like a woman who can like assist with direction. Like let's say like I'm running a business, you know what I'm saying? I still want a woman who, unbeknownst to me, could do something like, hey, she could talk to somebody that I didn't even know I needed for my business, or something like simple. Like, you mean something like that? Like,
Yeah.
like the little simple stuff that you didn't even know you
that's
needed.
right. That's what I'm saying. We're saying the same thing, just in different ways. I'm saying like it's not one dimension of being nurturing. Like it's different areas that you have to be nurturing. Like nurturing really is femininity. If you think about it, just like it's different areas to be masculine, right? You might be masculine in the financial arena. You might be masculine in the you know leading and program development arena. You might be masculine in this, but it's still masculine energy. So like that's what I'm saying. The feminine energy is like being able to control that nurturing spirit and read the room, like knowing he don't need me to nurture in this area. He need me to nurture in this area. That's what divine femininity is being able to read and like just like you as a man. It's like you realizing, oh, this chick got her own money. She don't need me to provide all this money. She need me to emotionally support her. She need me to pick up the slack here. Like as a man, that's also part of that masculinity. It's not just always looking at it like, oh, I gotta put my dick out on the table because she making more money than me. Like, nah, it ain't even about the money all the time. She comfortable with the money she making, so she don't need you to always throw like, oh yeah, I brought in this amount. I need you to come and like listen to my day and tell me I ain't crazy before going through this bullshit. Like being able to do shit like that too.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they is crazy though.
Man, nine times out of 10, they just going through some other shit, bro. They just need to vent. That's really all it is. But let's go over these closing remarks. Let's close it out. 10. Let's start off with you. Is it like you define what masculinity is for you?
Masculinity to me is, putting yourself in a position to be masculine. Putting yourself in a position where you can set a certain standard, whether that was also financial, occurrences, whatever it is, you can set that standard, you can stick to it. I think that's true masculinity.
Okay. Zay, what you got?
Really just being a leader. Be a head of your household, lead your household in the direction of where you want to be in life. And at the end of the day, if you on your journey, you gonna live in your masculinity.
I think masculinity actually comes from like your organization and your structure, like getting that shit down to a T and making sure everything does run the way it needs to run, and not kind of veering off from your rules and expectations. Staying firm on that is like true masculinity to me.
Yeah, I like that standing firm, like really being able to like stand on your shit. You know, whether you're going through tough times or you're going through some good times, you gotta be able to stand on it and be like, this is what's going on, and be vulnerable enough to even communicate that to your woman to let her know like what the situation is and if she ready to, you know, go with this program or not, so that y'all can just move y'all ways that y'all need to move. But outside of that, family, I want y'all to let us know in the comments what y'all think masculinity is. And ladies, do y'all feel like a man's masculinity is based on his financial ability to provide for you? Let us know in the comments. You know, let us know if we hit it on the head. But outside of that, we out. See y'all next time.